Hi there, I'm Eileen, and this is Seeing the World Through Trifocals. You know, if Superman can have a weakness, who are we to think that we won't? Wave a piece of kryptonite in Clark Kent's direction and he drops to his knees. This same man who has the power to stop a bullet, a train, and even high jump a mountain crumbles when someone hands him a 3-ounce rock of kryptonite. Now, my 6'3" tall grandson, he hates spiders, and he can really jump a tall building. Well, at least he can jump the back of my couch when he sees a spider. My husband, who used to hang off the top of the airport tower fixing their antennas when he was in the Air Force, he now gets woozy on the top rung of our ladder. Now me, well, I used to have my weaknesses, but not anymore. Why? I'll tell you in a minute. I read a book once that told me to get bolder, not older. Sounded good, but bold old people just seem to end up on everyone else's crazy old lady list. I may be a little eccentric, a little opinionated, a little outspoken. Okay, I'm a lot eccentric, a lot opinionated, and very outspoken. But like Lucy told Linus, I'm just a strong leader. So what should I lead? Oh, I don't feel like up to leading a revolution, but at the same time, I thought it was time to rebel against something. The government isn't the answer. They're too busy rebelling against themselves. They didn't even notice that I had mooned them when we drove by the Capitol. I think they just thought somebody was stuffing an old rumpled pillow out the side window of their car. Rebelling against the disrespect and lack of manners that I saw all around me seemed like a very good idea, but you know, it probably wasn't going to make much of a change. Children and their parents were so involved, staring at their phones, they didn't even notice I had my nose plastered up against the door that they had just closed in my face. I once saw a cartoon. There was a man standing at the pearly gates of heaven waiting to go in, and I assume it was St. Peter looking at him, and St. Peter said, "Well, actually you did have a pretty good life. You just were on your phone so much, you missed most of it." Then it hit me. No, not the door. My kryptonite vaccine. What I could do that would fill my need to rebel. Oh, now let me back up a little and explain something. I never had a rebellious stage growing up. For one thing, I was taught never talk back to my mother or make my daddy mad. If I was to be told to be home by midnight and I didn't get home until 12:05, I had better been late because I stopped to call my parents and tell them that a traffic light was stuck and I'd be there in a minute. Oh, they weren't abusive. In fact, they loved me very much and they deserved my respect and obedience. They loved me too much to be my friend and playmate and credit card carrier. They were parents first. All the rest, except for the credit card carrier, actually did come together later. Anyway, to make my short rabbit chase not quite so long, I somehow missed that period of thinking I was the boss, my parents were stupid, and they owed me for being born to them. It became time for me to blow my bugle of attack. Now, the truth of the matter is, my kryptonite was I'm really a coward, and I don't like to confront people. But if I do, you better stand back. My granddaughters have told each of their boyfriends that their grandma is an excellent marksman, true, has a big backyard, true, and a shovel. So I decided to become a backdoor rebel. I figured that if God could use an old man like Ezekiel to tell off a king, an old man like Noah to build a boat, and an old woman like Sarah to raise a baby, he could use this old woman to tell people life is worth living. Sometimes I do it by being a teeny bit sarcastic, but you've got to remember, I grew up in the Don Rickles generation of comedy. But my husband would always say he'd stand on his head, spin around in circles, spit out wooden nickels if it would make a difference in someone's life. If what stops me, my personal kryptonite, is being afraid people will think that I'm an old crazy woman, then my vaccine is to confront that fear and become exactly that. Today's shirt statement is, I'm not old, I'm classic. Go out today and show people that with God's help, you too can become classic. Make today a special day for everyone you meet. God loves classics. That's why he made 57 Chevys and me. See you next time.